sandwich. Known by the average population as an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with a filling between them, usually eaten as a light meal. But I find this definition unsatisfactory. It is a culinary masterpiece, gastronomical art. It has been pertinent throughout history, from the first conception of the crèche, invented in Jerusalem before baby Jesus could even carry his little infant legs from one side of the room to the other, to the contemporary creations of today.
I think you do a good job of presenting food as art and making food as an art form through the different shots and editing this piece together, but also through the narration. It definitely made me hungry, but it also gave me, an appreciation for the art of cooking. This is a really well done piece, a very well edited piece, and just a joy to watch.
We're used to elements such as how it's made and our fair share of cooking shows. And here we take a simple aspect of a sandwich, a B.L.T, bacon, lettuce, tomato, and we are given, sort of a history lesson, so to speak, on where this where this food comes from, the delicacy that it creates, the hominess factor. We get a really good relationship between the chef and the food itself, and I think those are the two characters that exist within this piece, and intertwining them and really taking a notion to learn about what you're putting into your body. I think it's bringing another layer and identity to that factor. And, very well done with grabbing footage to encapsulate what he is saying. It's mostly a narrative piece with B-roll footage, sort of added in. But I think it really does its job in trying to give us a little bit of history.
I love how the filmmaker allows us as the viewers to emerge in the story from his narration and the visual choices. I love how he speaks on how these sandwiches have made a better way for food, and how he describes it using great imagery as references, but then also not taking this too seriously. And overall, this film was a joy to watch. It was sort of like a YouTube video that you would find. It was quick and it really kept me engaged as a viewer who's never really watched any videos about cooking in a sense.
Hilarious, thoroughly entertaining. There's just a lot of great lines in here, and great visuals too. The like the definition of pain in English and French. Yeah, it's witty and clever and really well executed. Again, there's some actually really nice visuals as far as some food photography that's going on.
This is one of those things that, like, one of those movies that I love to watch because it's something that I never would have thought about in that way. And it just kind of, I love watching films like that because it opens the perspective. And even if it's something about, like, sandwiches, for example, it doesn't have to be, like, crazy mind-unlocking moment, but it still opens for me personally, it still changes the way that I think about things or changes the way that I view things, because I'm, being exposed to a perspective that I wasn't previously. So I thought this was really, really interesting. I'd never kind of thought about dissecting a sandwich before or dissecting food in that way. In as like a general sentiment, I have never thought about food in those terms before, of thinking about the kind of deconstructing it and thinking about maybe any hidden deeper meanings. And so I thought this was really, really fascinating to watch, and just a different perspective on something that I have interacted with a lot, like a sandwich.
It has interesting and insightful remarks on society and our relationship to food and even our ideology related to that. It's beautifully crafted. A fan favorite popular Western meal gets praised and deconstructed from ancient to modern history, while we see a chef in modern contemporaneous time prepare one of these sandwiches life while describing the process. It was very interesting, surprisingly insightful.
What sets it apart for me was the delicious imagery of the food. So many yummy close-ups of bread, tomatoes, and sizzling bacon. Great editing between famous classic paintings and the food. I enjoyed the narrator's delivery of lines with an amused smile in the voice. I really appreciated the historical information imparted about the sandwich and also the poetic turn of phrases in the writing. Wonderful, memorable film that I will think of when having sandwiches in the future.